Well, here is today's big ugly project. This terrible, trashy, rotten willow tree finally came down in a storm. If you look, that's the top of it. That's not much of a tree for the giant diameter of this thing. And that's because about 2 years, the top, which was much longer, actually broke off of this thing, and I cleaned it up over here on the mound. And it's kind of created this dangerous situation because it's so rotten in the middle that trying to cut this thing off, it could do anything. So I was just going to wait for nature to take its course, and it took 2 years. So it looks like a horrible mess, and it is, but I am thrilled that it finally happened because now it's on the ground where it's a lot safer and I can finish cutting it up. So today's project is starting with the smaller chainsaw, just kind of take all the branches off, figure out what we're working with here, and get it gone. And there is nothing salvageable about this. There is no log, there is no firewood. All I have to do is break it down into small enough pieces that I can pick it up with the tractor and haul it to the burn pile, which is on the opposite corner of the property. But I don't think I want to burn it where it sits. So, yeah, time to get the saws going. Probably pretty bad framing. Sorry guys, but I had to drive the tractor, you understand. With all those tangly, stupid willow branches, I only ended up with 2 stuck on the bucket. That's pretty good. All right, back to the pile. All right, I'm gonna fire up the big saw and do some cutting, but I figured I'd show you. Next thing is this chunk of log that's sticking up. So it's on the ground there and then it's up over there. So I parked the tractor and the forks directly underneath it, and I'm not lifting on it at all at this point, because if I do that and I make a cut here, it's just gonna pinch my blade. But right now it's up off the ground, so if I cut it here and it drops on the forks, then I don't have to dig into the ground to get underneath it. So we'll fire up the bigger saw, cut it. I hate to cut it at the dirt, because when I break through, then I'm gonna dull my chain, so I'll probably cut it right about there. Oh, I hate willow trees. These stupid branches are just really difficult to deal with. They tangle up. They weigh too much for what they are. Just get out of here. All right, another loader full. I was just about to go drive away with this, and I took a call from my mom. And then while I was talking to her, I was standing here just kind of looking at this mess of a tree. And I don't know how hollow it was, but it was definitely semi-hollow. There was a crotch right up there that I think raccoons, big stuff, could get down into, and I never really saw it happen. I just assumed. But this whole thing is just rotten, terrible, punky. Like, the tree is made up of that. There's no reason why this tree was still standing, or alive for that matter. But while I was standing here looking at this log, I went, that is a very fresh raccoon turd. I wonder if there was something in here when it happened, just before it happened, or if he came up here and laid that last night while this thing was laying like that and it wasn't that interesting. But clearly critters were in here using it as a home. I thought this was interesting. There is a snake skin in here, and it looks to be a pretty good sized one too. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, just medium for this part of the world. That's probably just a garter snake. There's not much else around here, at least not that I've seen. But anyway, yeah, snake skin, raccoon turds. This was quite the home for a bunch of critters. And it's got to go. So we're gonna try something real quick, just because I'm curious what's going on here. This is cut off. This is cut most of the way through. It's rotten on this side, so I think that's gonna break. This size log, I mean, look at this. Look at it compared to me. This log should be too heavy for my tractor, but because it's so rotten and so punky, either it's light and I can pick it up, or it's soaked and wet and actually heavier than it should be, and I won't be able to pick it up, even budget. But I want to just slide the forks under here and see what happens without cutting anything else, see what I can do. It's completely disconnected from the trunk down here, or the stump down here, so I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to get under here and try to lift it. That might break off. That's disconnected. And this is a little bit precarious, but I'm going to have this log and the bucket of the tractor between it and me. So if it goes anywhere, it's probably going away. I don't see anything dangerous about what I'm going to try right now, so let's let's see what happens. Four-wheel drive engaged. I got the RPMs way up and it just won't lift. It is too heavy. That's all right. We'll cut off that end and see if we can lift it then, because that didn't break the way I thought it would. Doggone it. That log lost a fight to that branch. How stupid. It weighs nothing. It's a sheet of paper. That is a big log. It's gonna take a long time to burn that down. We've got this pretty well cleaned up in not too much time. We're down to the semi-tricky thing, the thing that might not go completely smooth. I would just put the bucket against this and push it over, except for the fact that it's got this kickstand down here, and that is keeping it from going that way. I would have to push real hard to get it to flop over the top of that thing. So either I've got to come in from the backside and push it this way, which then makes that kickstand pop up in the air, and that might not be a big deal, if I'm being completely honest. Let's maybe go shoot for that. I'd rather get this thing on the ground before I start trying to chainsaw, because otherwise I come in there and try to cut the kickstand off, and if it rolls when it lets go, that comes over and hits me, and it's not a good thing. So at this point, with this much weight up high, I'm just going to bring the tractor in up here and try to push it that way and stay far away from this thing. So if I push high on the end, it'll just flop over and it'll be fine. I'm a little concerned that the main trunk is only being held up by this right now. Probably not. That's probably pretty strong. But I might push on the trunk first before I push on this, just to make sure that that thing's solid. Also, I should really take the forks off and push with just the blunt face of the bucket. But that feels like a lot of work and I don't want to do that. So we'll just do it the sketchy way. At some point I got out of line. That's straight enough. Oh, it really doesn't want to go. How about lifting? Boy, that last little bit is hanging on pretty good. Whoop, almost killed it. Let go, you horrible jerk. Well, at this point, it's just getting silly. I can't believe that what's up there right now is strong enough. Move quickly. I can't believe I didn't just rip that right off just now. Don't really want to do it with the chainsaw. But now we're pretty well hung up. I can cut this off and then just start hacking on it and not feel too bad. So Let's get the saw. Okay, I think we'll go get the bucket. Well, as I was saying, I'm gonna come and take these 3 logs out of here, clear this space, and then I think if we lift from right here and drive that way, the whole thing's just gonna spin off. Might even take the trunk down with it. Okay, we have it by a little bit. 4-wheel drive. Granny gear. It's got to come down eventually. All right. Now I can get a better shot at it. I like this angle better. I'm going to try to keep some of this debris out from underneath the mower deck. Okay. Boy, I can't believe that's holding on. I want to get out from under it. Oh, I lost one fork. That's all right. Now I can just push it with the bucket. Jeez, what a nightmare tree. How about this way? I want you on the ground. Holy crap. I can't believe that thing's still holding on. That is just shocking. It is really only held on by the outermost layer of the tree. This whole thing, that big around, is being held together by that much. So we'll grab my stand back pole and see what happens now. There's some. Oh, she's going now. That's the end of you, you stupid tree. There! Holy cow! I maybe made that last bit a little bit harder than it had to be. But I really thought the tractor would just twist that thing off. And I could have cut up more of it. I could have cut the trunk down, and by all rights, it all would have just fallen and landed in a heap and been fine. But I'm here by myself with a lot of weight up high. So I did all of the work I could do as far away from it as I could, which ended up being using the bucket of the tractor. And now it's on the ground, except for that piece, which will be easy. So I can just pick this up and take it away and donezo. Well, it's getting hot and I'm running out of steam, but we mostly have this cleaned up. This is gonna be a little bit different. I have to clean up a tree like it's a pile of dirt. That's new to me. I took the forks off and we're just gonna dig into this pile and scoop and go. I don't think I'm gonna get this raked. I am running out of steam. And it's getting hot, and I'm thinking that maybe the best bet is to finish the cleanup tomorrow. If you've ever run out of steam and put off the job until the next day, Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you haven't, you're lying to me, and I don't appreciate that. Anyway, scooping, chopping, call it a day. Yeah, if it was a healthy tree, I shouldn't have been able to do that. This is the heaviest part of the tree right here. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just about out of diesel. And if this thing runs out, it's a kind of a pain to get it running again. So I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go dump this on the pile, and then I'm going to go do inside stuff, or at least in the shop stuff. Yeah. All right, that is going to do it for today for a surprise project I didn't know was coming. We relocated a junk tree from the far corner of the property to this corner of the property and reassembled it almost like new. But I'm not happy with the results, so I think I'm going to light fire to this project. Anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate you watching. This is kind of fun. I took more time to explain my thought process on this than I normally would, which slowed down the chainsawing, but hopefully you learned something from that. So make sure you do the whole like and subscribe thing. It helps the channel out and I appreciate it. And that's about it. I'm going to go into the air conditioning. See you guys.